arise and shine and rejoice, because this is the day that the Lord has made. And you can do all things through him. And that's the reality. That is the truth that I'll speak every day until my face is blue. You know, because I know what is working within me. It's he who is working within me. He who is greater than the world is working within me, and he is working within you as well. You know, Christ is the Alpha and the Omega. He is the way, the life, and the truth. And if you could think of anyone cooler, like, please let me know, because he's the sage of all sages. He's like the greatest teacher of all, the greatest influencer. You know, you have all these gurus and things like that, but Christ was so much more than that. His power was composed of compassion, love, and understanding. It was an authority, you know, but he was so humble. And it's amazing to actually have that relation with the Holy Spirit. You know, the Spirit, the voice that's within to show you the way and the reality that it is possible. You know, and we've come to do more. He didn't just teach us so we could dwell in the same repetitive cycles all the time. No, he wanted you to be a conqueror. He wanted you to face the reality that we all face, is that we're going to have to deal with hard times. We're going to have to struggle occasionally. But when you understand, when you walk by faith, when you know that you are unshakable, that is when the miracles start happening in your life. And the fruits of the Spirit, you start to harvest them. And that's what I'm seeing in my own life, is these chapters, these pages in the book of life have taught me so much. And I was once at a point where I was struggling, confused. I was really trying to understand what is the way. And I wasn't leaning, I was leaning on my own understanding, but when I stopped leaning on my own understanding, when I started to submit, when I started to really give it to God, when I started to really hone in on developing that relationship for myself, to know, like, this is the truth. If I actually seek him wholeheartedly, then he is going to show me the way. And it requires trust and belief. Just faith a little bit, just so you can move the mountains, right? But it does require faith, and cast out fear. Because the doubts, the fear, they're going to try to creep in. They're going to try to tell you, no, this ain't real. But you have to give it your everything. You know, how much time are we allotted in a day? How much time do we spend on our phones? How much time are we distracted with things of the world? That's why it said, be not of the world. Because when you are disciplined, when you develop this dedication to understanding that you are this being, a disciple here, then you start to realize, wow, okay, this is starting to make sense to me. The truth is being revealed to me in a way that it's really not going to be revealed to anyone else, but uniquely it will be revealed to you. Because we don't need a teacher. What we have is an intercessor. What we have is the Holy Spirit. And so when the Holy Spirit starts to teach you, when you start to become a student of the way, then your curriculum, your spiritual curriculum is for you. You know, you're being like homeschooled in the spiritual realm. And it's a unique thing. You know, I can't show you these things. I could only speak my truth and speak my reality on the things that I have experienced here. And so just know whatever it is that you're going through, this fear, this doubt, it's false evidence appearing real. They're trying to stop you from realizing this true salvation, this true freedom, the true authority and power that you're able to walk in. And it's time for you to walk in that. It's time for you to release, to renew, to be reborn and resurrected into this new life, into the image of God. Because you are the image of God. His essence is flowing through you in everything. We're all a part of it. You know, so it's not about a building, because you are the building that houses the Spirit. And Christ, He came so you could do more here, so you could put your faith into action. He didn't die on a cross just so we could live a life of suffering still. No, He wanted us to realize why He died on that cross and why He came here, because we all came here in the same light. And He wants you to step in that power, to be an authority figure, to be a catalyst of spiritual change, to show love to a world without judgment. And maybe we're just planting seeds still, but that's why the workers are few and the harvest is a lot, because we are the ones that are going to be planting those seeds for future change. The disciples are here, and we're here to do works that are greater than He. Christ was only here for a short time. If you want to see change, start believing, start moving in faith, cast out the fear. Know that you are healed. And it starts with taking the time to realize who you are, nurturing these parts of who you are, facing these demons in your life, individually, one-on-one at a time, working with them, showing them compassion, and then ultimately winning them over in love, because you're ultimately nurturing these parts of you that need that TLC, that need that tender, loving care. You know, no one could give that to you. You have to find that on your own. And it's not even that you're doing it on your own, is that you're doing it with the Spirit, with the Holy Spirit who's working within you. So if you need time to tap in, make the time to tap in. Because once you're tapped in, man, I'm telling you, it's fucking awesome. And excuse my language, it's the truth. Like, it's the truth, because there's going to be so many things that will come up against you that will try to prevent you from realizing and evolving into this point of understanding in your life. But that is the challenge, that is the temptation, that is like the 40 days in wilderness. And sometimes it's longer for others. Sometimes we make 2 steps up and we take 1 step back. But there's forgiveness in there. There's growth in that. So be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Start to understand yourself like on a whole nother level, not according to the world, not following anyone's other footsteps, but in a stride all to yourself. Because He is lighting the way, the footsteps of your path. It may seem dark, but there's always a light there, guiding you, loving you, being compassionate with you, and giving you understanding so you can understand yourself. So take time today to love on yourself, to love on others, to nurture yourself, to be kind to yourself, to speak life into your soul, because we need you more than ever. May peace be with you. Much love. We'll talk soon.